Our ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now. And a legal fight is heating up over a judge's decision to allow San Diego County restaurants to reopen during the stay-at-home order. The action that local leaders are planning to take in their effort to curb the spread of that disease. Plus,
we're running out of space. We're converting any and every room into a patient.
Local hospitals, they are now short on beds. An ICU nurse opens up about the struggle frontline workers are facing to keep up with the surge in cases. And what's in Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine? We're going to take an in-depth look and hear a doctor's advice about allergies.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
But first, we do have some breaking news. Just minutes ago, the FDA approved Moderna for emergency use in the United States. This is now the second vaccine approved on an emergency basis. Moderna will now begin shipping close to 6 million doses across the country, adding to the Pfizer vaccine doses that are already being administered to healthcare workers. California could get close to double the amount of doses it received from Pfizer last week. And a recent review by the FDA confirmed the overall effectiveness between Pfizer and Moderna as nearly identical. In the meantime, local restaurants are facing an uncertain future even after a Superior Court judge ruled that they could stay open for dining during the most recent stay-at-home order. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. Lindsay Pena has the night off. Just hours ago, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors voted to appeal the decision. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco has the arguments being made on both sides.
The Board of Supervisors voted Friday to join the state in fighting a judge's ruling that allows indoor dining at restaurants and strip clubs to operate during the regional stay-at-home order. But the board won't fight outdoor dining, a relief for some restaurants across San Diego County. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher wanted to appeal the entire ruling. Earlier, he took to social media to slam the judge's decision.
I think that this has a potential devastating impact at a point at which we are entering our darkest phase and darkest hour, and that it continues to sow public confusion and doubt.
Confusion that began Wednesday when a local judge ruled that restaurants and businesses with restaurant services can remain open. 2 strip clubs filed the lawsuit, but the judge included restaurants in his ruling. Craig Barkis is a business law professor at USD.
The judge was saying, well, there is no data before me saying that these restaurants being open are contributing to the COVID outbreak we're having. And absent that, these restaurants that are following the safety protocols should be allowed to continue.
The ruling goes on to say there is no evidence providing live adult entertainment or restaurant service has impacted ICU bed capacity. Supervisor Fletcher says the ruling does not change the devastating spread of COVID across the region.
If we let it rage completely out of control and we collapse our entire healthcare system, the negative impact to our community and society will be far greater than the negative impact of the steps we're taking to try and avoid that situation.
It is unclear when a judge will take up the appeal. Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Late this afternoon, attorneys for the state asked an appellate court to stay the judge's decision stopping enforcement. They argued the judge overreached in his ruling earlier this week.
We got into this mess because people didn't believe that they could get sick.
Hospital beds are filling up fast in our region with available capacity now at 0. Meanwhile, hospitals are also short on ventilators and staff. Our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Dela Cruz spoke with an ICU nurse who says they are struggling to keep up with the surge.
ICU nurse Peter Sadu is overwhelmed.
We're having an influx of patients like I've never seen before.
The LA County RN says their hospitals are on the brink of their limits.
We're running out of space. We're converting any and every room into a patient room.
He feels more protected after getting the vaccine Thursday, but being short-staffed is a whole other threat.
You'll be lucky to even get a restroom break. You're on your feet, you're running, yet patients are being intubated.
California groups counties into 5 regions as part of the new stay-at-home order. On Thursday, the Southern California region's available ICU capacity hit 0, even though availability for San Diego County is about 16%. That's because other counties contribute to our region's total, like Inyo County with only 2 beds open. Imperial County has none.
You can open up empty wings, you can convert auditoriums. You can see what some places are doing, which is parking structures and tents, but you can't replace nurses.
While there are still some ICU beds open in San Diego, they're filling up quickly. Scripps Hospitals tells us they've requested additional ventilators and respiratory therapists from the county. They added, "We've constructed temporary negative pressure rooms, added surge tents at our emergency departments, and expanded COVID care to additional hospital floors." For people who still aren't being safe, Sidhu has this message.
And now I'm looking at the kind of patients that we have. They're younger than I thought they would be. They're healthy, and they're all suffering from COVID.
Jennifer Dela Cruz, ABC 10 News.
The county says hospitals are delaying organ transplants and cancer surgeries for non-COVID patients just to make more room. Now, here's the problem. The county just broke another record in single-day cases, reporting more than 3,600 new cases today. That brings our total to more than 120,000. That's an amazing number. The county also reported 14 more deaths. 1,253 San Diegans have now died from this virus. And as we mentioned at the top of this newscast, the Moderna vaccine just got its final approval. Yesterday, the FDA panel studying the vaccine voted to give its emergency approval. 2 San Diego doctors served on that panel. Today's approval means that Moderna will send out its first 6 million doses just next week. Meanwhile, more people are getting the Pfizer vaccine. That includes these nursing home residents in Connecticut.
I feel good. The shot was no problem, and I think everyone that can and should get a shot.
Good for her. Congress is among the first group eligible for the shot. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell already got theirs. Vice President Mike Pence took his shot live on TV, encouraging everyone to get it when it's available to them. As Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine rolls out to our healthcare workers, there have been a handful of severe allergic reactions. So a lot of people are wondering what's in the vaccine and what should people with allergies know about it. Our ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl takes an in-depth look at the ingredients list.
In the last week, Pfizer has shipped millions of doses of its COVID-19 vaccine. So far, 4 healthcare workers have had severe allergic reactions after getting the shot, starting with 2 in the UK.
These were people with a history of severe allergies, and not just severe allergies like you got hives, but they had allergies where, they encountered certain things in the environment and their body shuts down.
Both of those workers carried EpiPens. At this point, doctors are not sure what caused the reactions. But broadly speaking, allergies are when your immune system overreacts to something. Pfizer's vaccine has 10 ingredients that fit into 4 categories. The active ingredient is mRNA, which are temporary genetic instructions for your cells. Then there are fats to stabilize and transport the RNA, salts to maintain the pH, and sugar to prevent the vaccine from degrading while freezing. All these ingredients are considered standard. UC San Francisco Dr. Peter Chinhong says he was struck by what's not in the vaccine.
So they didn't have, egg products or any of those kinds of things that people might be allergic to. They didn't have live virus, which might also elicit a response.
The only ingredient with a history of allergic reactions is polyethylene glycol, or PEG, one of the fats that acts as an oily bubble for the mRNA. PEG is also in Moderna's vaccine, and it's common. It's found in ultrasound gel, laxatives, injectable steroids, and other products. While rare, the FDA says people who are allergic to PEG or one of the other 9 ingredients should not get the vaccine. But experts say people with common allergies should not worry.
A lot of people with minor food allergies or bee sting allergies or peanut allergies or environmental allergies, and they may even carry an EpiPen because sometimes it gets severe. Those people would not be excluded from getting this vaccine.
The American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology said people with those common allergies, including to latex and medications, are no more likely than the general public to have an allergic reaction to the vaccine. After every shot, people who get vaccinated have to wait 15 minutes to see if they have a reaction. The FDA says people with a history of allergic reactions to vaccines or injectable drugs can still get this shot, but they need to wait longer, for 30 minutes. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Derek tells us if you are concerned about allergies to the vaccine, experts say that you should talk to your doctor. The odds of having a severe allergic reaction to any vaccine are 1 in about 760,000. That means you have a better chance of being struck by lightning, 1 in 500,000. A flurry of votes on Capitol Hill in the last couple of hours to avoid a partial government shutdown. The House and the Senate sent a bill to the president's desk to fund the government for 2 more days. Last-minute disagreements on a nearly $900 billion COVID aid package is now holding up passage of a full funding bill. While lawmakers do have some more time, the disagreements do continue. Republicans want to limit the Federal Reserve's economic rescue powers in a Biden administration. For their part, Democrats are insisting on billions in disaster aid that the Republicans fear could be redirected by states.
I'm even more optimistic now than I was last night.
I pray that the negotiators will be able to spend good time today and report to us soon that they have reached an agreement.
More than 10 million Americans stand to lose part of their unemployment benefits if a COVID relief deal is not reached by the end of next week. The Labor Department says an estimated 50 million people could also go hungry this holiday season. Let's hope they get something done. And you can stay up to date with any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News. Residents in La Jolla, they are on high alert tonight after a woman was sexually assaulted while jogging on Black's Beach. Police released this sketch of the attacker. He's described as a man possibly between the ages of 30 and 40 wearing a cross-shaped earring. The woman was jogging when the man came up to her naked and assaulted her. She was able to break free and call for help. Anyone with information is asked to call police. And traffic was backed up this morning in downtown after a car hit and killed a pedestrian who was just wandering onto the freeway. Sky 10 was at the scene over Cortez Hill, right at the 163 interchange. CHP issued a SIG alert and they shut down 3 northbound lanes of the I-5, as you can see. That caused a major traffic bottleneck. Officers say it's not clear how that person got onto the freeway in the first place. And a police officer who was hit and dragged by a car during a traffic stop is now out of the hospital. That incident happened Monday when El Cajon police answered the call of a car blocking the road. So when they started investigating, the driver turned the car on and just hit the gas. Today, the department identified the officer as Nick Sorello. He was in critical condition at first, but released from the hospital today. That is great news. Investigators say the driver is David Pangilinan. He's from Guam. Police are still trying to find him.